Good morning. Thank you for joining me. My name is Sally and I am co-founder of Reach Your Peak alongside fellow physiotherapist Maria Lewis. Anyone who's watched any of our other streams or workouts before, you might know that we usually come as a double act. But with today being such an important and special day, World Parkinson's Day, we're dividing and conquering. So I've got the pleasure of spending the session with you guys here on our live stream, and Maria is over in Stoke at a live event. So this morning we're going to be working on a high intensity interval session with exercises which have been chosen and designed specifically to benefit people with Parkinson's. But if you are watching this as a caregiver or a family member, feel free to join in the session. It's a good workout for anyone. There are a few things that I want you to remember before we get started, and that is that if you experience any pain or discomfort during any of the movements, then I want you to either stop or modify to something that suits you better. If you feel unwell, make sure you stop, and if you're exercising alone, it's a good idea to have a method of communication nearby, such as a phone, should you need to reach out for any help. Now, you're not going to need any special equipment for our workout together today. Just some space to move around in, and I've got a chair nearby just in case I want that for a little bit of support or balance. The workout that we're going to do, we'll start with a warm-up, so we'll go through some mobility exercises just to get our bodies moving. We're then going to go into the interval session, and that's where I'm going to ask you to work on a particular movement for about 40 seconds, and then we're going to ease that off, and then we'll repeat. So we'll be going through that kind of interval hard work and then a little bit of relative rest. The exercises that I've chosen, we're going to repeat in 3 circuits, but each time we repeat the exercise, we're going to add in another level or layer of complexity. So if you feel that you want to stay at our previous version, if that's how your body's moving today, then you can stick with one of the previous versions. Once we've done that, we're then going to finish off with some stretch and mobility. Because we'll already be loosened off, we're going to maximize that and help to lengthen and elongate our muscles towards the end. Once the workout's finished, I'm going to hang around, so if there's any questions or comments that you want to pop into the chat, please do that and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. I think that's everything that you need to know. So if you're ready, let's start by just preparing our body for the exercise that's to come. So if you can stand with your feet about hip width apart. If you're not comfortable standing right now, then feel free just to do this first little section sat in a chair. Think about your posture. Press your feet down towards the floor. Lift the ribcage up off the pelvis and let the weight of the arms just pull the shoulders away from your ears. I'd like your eye line to be parallel to the floor and the chest is open. Take some nice big deep breaths. So inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. Good, do that again. With each breath, let the shoulders drop away from the ears. Last one. Great, well done. So you can let your breath return to a more normal rate and rhythm now. And we're going to move your shoulders with a big up, round and back. So if I come sideways so you can see that, rolling the shoulders back. This is going to help just to wake up the muscles around the chest, around the shoulders. Good. We're going to go 3 more of these. 2 more. And one last one. Fantastic. Good. Keep those shoulders down. Keep pressing the feet into the floor and lift your ribs up off your pelvis. Turn your palms so that they're facing forwards towards the screen. And then I'd like you to take your arms up and out to the side. Now think about trying to stretch through to the very, very tips of your fingers. And then bring those arms down and just soften the stretch through the fingers a little bit. Let's do that again, up and out to the side, stretch out through to the tips of the fingers, spread the hand out, and then come back down. Good, we're going to go one more. Stretch out, big, 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 big. Release through. Good. Now arms stay up, but you're just going to soften the hands a little bit and bring your fingertips behind your ears. Good. So from there, you can see we're trying to keep those elbows back. That helps to stretch the front of the chest a little bit. Now let's stretch across the back. And to do that, I want you to bring your elbows together in front of you and look down towards the floor. You're then going to push those elbows back and raise the eye line. Do that 4 more times. So we're going to breathe in when you come forward. Breathe out as you go back. Good. Again, breathe in, come forward. Breathe out, go back. Keep going. Make the movement as big as you possibly can. Let's just do a couple more. And last one. Fantastic. Push those elbows back as wide as you can. Spread the fingers, arms come round and down. Lovely, well done. Now we're going to just do a little bit of mobility work for your foot and ankle. So hands onto hips if you can, or you can hold onto your chair, a wall, a windowsill, anything that's nearby as we circle the ankle round. Good, so you're working from the toe, heel is lifted up off the floor, and you're circling around. Change the direction of your circle. And you can, of course, do this in sitting if you prefer. Lovely. And then place that foot firmly back down onto the floor. We do the same on the other side. Pop up at the toes and circle round. Good. Still standing tall or sitting tall. Ribs up off the pelvis. And then round the other way. Good, well done. So if you have been down and sitting, I want you up on your feet now, please. We're going to take a big step back. So just trying to open out those hips a little bit. You're then going to pop up on your toe and back down to your heel. Pop up on your toe and back down to your heel. So this is going to help us just to stretch out and mobilize the back of the calf a little bit, but we're going to keep it moving because we want the beginning part of our workout to be all about movement and preparing the body for our movements to come. We're going to go 2 more of these. And then after that last one, just hold with your heel down to the floor. Take both arms up and out in front of you. And then we're going to swing the arm on the same side as your back leg, round and through. So already challenging your balance a little bit here. You can hold on to something on that front arm if you need to. And this is just going to help us to twist the torso. We'll go a couple more of these ones. Brilliant, well done. Bring those arms down. Step the back leg back in towards you. And then we're going to go back on the other side. Up onto the toe, down to the heel. Up onto the toe, down to the heel. Good. Keep that movement going. Making it as big as you can. You've got the option of holding onto your chair, wall or windowsill if you need to. Loosening through the foot, the ankle, the knee. Opening those hips out a little bit. And then if you're ready and if you're happy to do so, let's take the arms up. And the arm on the same side as the back leg. We go for that little swing round and through. Good. Swing round, twist the torso and through. Round you go and back. 2 more. Good. And then stepping it in. We're just going to get some big arm movements going here. So you're going to hug yourself and push open. Hug yourself and push open. Starting to raise your heart rate a little bit now, I hope. Squeezing in, open out. Squeezing in, open out. 2 more. Big movements. Good. And then if you can take a march for me. Let your arms push back at the side of the body. So think about pushing your elbows back. Arms are brushing the side of the body. Pick those knees up. Good. A big, strong, powerful march. Getting that heart rate going. And I think we are ready to start our workout. We're ready to start our interval training. Now, it always helps to have a little bit of movement going, some music going, I should say, to help our movement. So if you bear with me 1 second whilst I get our playlist ready. Here we go. Brilliant. So, as we move, it is useful to use the music to help pace the tempo. But if you feel like you can't move as quick as I'm doing, or if you feel that you can move a little bit quicker, please, please, please go at your pace. Do whatever feels right for you. I've got us a little timer set up because we're going to work for 40 seconds and then we take a 20-second break. I'm going to put this here where I can see it so that we make sure we're doing the right amount of reps. And as I said before, each exercise is going to be a progression as we layer through. For our first one, it's hands onto hips, and we're going to do something called a box step. Now with a box step, it's a wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Join in with me when you're ready. And work at a pace that you're comfortable to manage. Great step. So let me take it a little bit slower again for you so you can see. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. We're really opening up those hips. You're almost done with this rep. That's it, we're done. Now in this relative rest period, we call it active rest, I want you to keep moving. So that's our first exercise, box step. The next one that we're going to move on to is a high knee. So I want you once again, with your hands onto your hips, and a high knee, you lift up. So try and bring that knee up as high as you possibly can. Good, keep the chest lifted. Marvellous. And really feel that foot plank firmly down in towards the floor. We're halfway through this interval. Stay tall for me. Good, nearly there. Great stuff. And then you just move in your active rest period now. Our next exercise is something called a speed skater. But we're going to start off with a fairly uncomplicated version of this. So in a speed skater, we move from side to side. So if you can just bring one foot in towards the other as we move in this side to side direction. Good. Cover as much ground in either direction as you possibly can. So it's a step to each side. Hands are staying on hips. Shoulders are down. Chest should be lifted. Good. I hope you're smiling with this as well. Try and have as much fun with our workout as possible. Brilliant. That's our 40 seconds of that exercise. So keep moving. This is your active rest. So you can up your intensity if you want to. You can move a little bit slower if you just need to get your breath back a wee bit. Now we're going to give the legs a little bit of a rest for this next exercise. Plant the feet firmly to the floor. Bring your hands up in fists. And then we're going to punch across the body. Good. Now imagine the target that you're punching to. You're going to go through it. Not just to it, but through it. So lots of power in your movement. Make it really deliberate, really purposeful. Good. Look in the direction of your hand. Excellent, that's our active rest again, so just let those arms relax out a little bit. Keep moving in your active rest. And the next exercise in our circuit is going to be a jack. It's not quite a jumping jack yet. We're going to add those layers of complexity on. So hands onto hips for me. And we're just going to do one leg at a time for that jack action. So I'm tapping my foot out, in, alternating sides. That's it. So keep it light, but make sure you're trying to reach out with each leg as far as you possibly can. Equal movement on each side. Just checking our time, are we nearly there? That's it, that's our 40 seconds. So lowering the intensity a little bit, upping it if you want to. We've got a little bit longer in this active rest before we move on to our next exercise, which is a heel dig. Now, if I come sideways, you'll see that I'm digging my heel to the floor, pulling the toes up towards the ceiling. So join in with me now. Alternating sides. Heel, 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 heel. Good. And you can move at a pace that suits you. So I'm bouncing around to our playlist here, but you just go with whatever suits. This is your workout. I want you to feel comfortable with it. We're going to repeat these exercises so you get plenty of chance to rehearse the movement. We're nearly through this 40 seconds. Great, that's the 40 seconds done. So those are the 6 exercises in our circuit. We're going to repeat them another twice round, but each time we repeat them, I'm going to add another little layer of complexity onto it. You can join in with it if you want. You can stick with one of the previous versions. So we need to restart the timer. And if you remember, our first exercise was box step. So it's that wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Yeah? And I'm alternating my lead leg each time. What we then do to add in is bring an arm with the leg. So as the leg goes forward, the arm goes with it. Out, out, in, and in. Now, if you're getting your arms and legs in a muddle, then you just go back to the legs. If you're happy to bring in those nice big arm movements, then you go for it. It's your workout, you do whatever suits you best. But we're trying to get your heart rate up, working on that aerobic intensity, which is where all the magic happens, to use exercise to treat Parkinson's. Last one round with that, and then we're into our active rest. I've actually eaten into our active rest, nicking a little bit off there. All right, so our exercise next is a high knee. And last time round, we did that high knee with hands on hips. This time, I want you to bring your arms out in front of you, and you're going to bring the knee up to the hand. Make that slapping sound. So this is encouraging us to really drive that knee up with power. So give it a good bit of oomph as it comes up. Can I hear the knee? That's the one. Nearly there for this interval. And you're done. A little bit more active rest, so keep moving. If you feel like you need to get a bit more heart rate going, you up the intensity in this active rest. And you can take a little jog, whatever feels right for you. Next is our speed skater. So we started off with a step 2. Let's make that a little bit more challenging now by bringing the back leg behind. So we're crossing the midline of the body, bringing in some balance and agility, which is one of the really essential components of your Parkinson's specific workout. And you can up the ante if you want to, move a little bit quicker. If you want to just focus on the quality of the movement, you can always take it a little bit slower. Really good for working on strength in the thighs, this one. You're nearly there. Brilliant, into your active rest. So you should hopefully be getting a little bit out of breath. And that's one of the things we look for in your aerobic component of your workout, to get that little bit of breathlessness. But make sure you keep moving in your active rest. Getting ready to go for a crossbody punch. And if you remember, the previous version was like this. Let's add in the leg now. So opposite arm to leg, in that twist, and looking towards the hand. You can bring it to just the punch if you want. If you're happy, then let's make that a little bit bigger by bringing the leg in as well. Looking at the hand, looking in the direction of the hand. Don't lose that power in your punch. Remember, you're going through a target, not just to it. Excellent, good. Active rest for 20 seconds. That's wide full breaths. Move at whatever pace you need to get the right intensity of your workout, which is going to be a nice, strong beat of the heart. Okay, going again. We did jacks, which was that leg out and into the side. Let's add an arm in. So that arm's got to move pretty quick. You might need to slow it down just to get the feel of the movement, but then whenever you're ready, let's get a little bit of purpose through our movement. Now, equal movement on either side. Try and tap that foot out as far as you can and really straighten that elbow. Very accurate and purposeful movement is what we want. Nearly there. Great, that's your 40 seconds. Last exercise in the circuit was the heel dig. So I was asking you to go with hands on hips and a straight knee, driving that leg down in towards the floor. Let's add in a little bit of a twist. So we're going to make our movement a bit bigger, bring in that rotation. So as you bring the leg forward, opposite elbow comes through, and you keep that movement going. If the twist is a little bit too much right now, you stick with the previous version, which was the heel digs. But if you're happy to add in that twist, let's make it as big as you can manage. Good. Twist in the torso, loosen up through the trunk, power in those leg muscles, strong straight knee, and that is the interval done. Well done. Ooh, big wide full breaths. Move at whatever intensity you feel you need to. Driving the arms if you want. And that's circuit number 2 complete. Third and final circuit coming up. We're going to add in a little bit more intensity. We're going to add some more complexity, some multitasking, making sure we get all of the components that you need so you can have an all-in-one workout. Time's going to reset. Woo. Okay, so we have that box step. So first version of box step, wide, wide, narrow, narrow, no arms. Second layer, we brought in the arms. The third and final layer is we're going to take the arm, leg, and bring it with a little bit more of a dynamic movement. So when I come in, I jump. Now, if you don't want to do that, if your body's not feeling up to that for this moment in time, then you stick with one of our previous versions. But if you can bring in that extra element, please join in with me now. Good. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Strong, straight arms. Power, purpose, and driving our movement. One more time. Great stuff. Moving through your active rest. can you see how we build up those layers in the movement so that you have the ability to adapt the movement to whatever suits you on any given day. We're going like this, weren't we? So we started off just with hands on hips. Then I got you bringing the hand up to the knee. Let's bring it across now. So we still want to hear the slap of the thigh, but it's opposite hand to knee. Think about bringing the knee up to the hand rather than the hands going low. So really drive up. Let me hear the knee and the hand come together. The feet need to plant firmly in towards the floor. Keep the torso twisting. And that should do it for your 40 seconds there. Well done. So next was speed skater. We started off with a step on touch. Then we made it a little bit more tricky, bringing the foot behind the midline of the body. For our next 40 seconds, we're going to bring in some arms and we push from side to side. So think of yourself like a skater on ice, racing around the rink with that swoosh from side to side. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you come back to one of our previous versions. If you are happy, then let's make this, well, if you're happy to do so, be happy either way. But if you're happy to do so, let's make this a nice big, strong movement where we push from side to side, strengthening our legs. Brilliant, well done. We get 20 seconds just to maybe bring our heart rate down a little bit, to work a wee bit harder and give it some more oomph if you want to. But our next exercise is our cross-body punch. We started off with just arms. We then added in a leg, and for this third and final layer, we're going to take in a little skip. Skip, skip. That's it. Or you can stick with either of those previous levels. You work at an intensity that is right for you today. Good. Looking in the direction of the hand, punching through, not just to your target. Nice wide full breaths. We're nearly there on this one. Great. We get 20 seconds of active rest, so just bring things down a little bit if you want to, but do make sure that you keep moving. Next one, we started off with our jack, which was just a leg. Then we added in an arm. Now, depending on how you're feeling, you can make that into a full jumping jack. It's pretty hard, this one, and we've still got 25 seconds to do. Change to whatever level is right for you. If you're joining in with me, then make sure the movement is big, open, wide full breaths. You've got 5 seconds left. Great stuff. And then bringing that intensity down a little bit. Final exercise in our circuit. This time whizzes by when we do the go and slow and go and slow. So, last one. It was our heel digs, and we started off with just legs. You then added in a little bit of a sass with a torso sway. What we can add in to that final layer of complexity is to push down to the floor. Strong, straight legs, dig the heel to the ground. Keep your eye line parallel to the floor. We've got 15 seconds of work. In this last combination, nearly there. Keep it going. And that's your 40 seconds done. But let's make sure we get right to the end of this interval. We've got 20 seconds of active rest. Let's take some nice wide full breaths. Good. 3, 2, 1. Just gently keep moving. If you've got a drink of water nearby, grab that. I'm just going to move our timer out of the way. Woo. Let's turn the music down a little bit. That was amazing. Thank you for joining in at whatever of those levels you were able to do. So that is the component of your Parkinson's specific exercise routine where we're working on your aerobic intensity. It's going to be different for all of us, it's going to vary day to day, but that's why at Reach Your Peak we like to try and give you as much variation. You're the expert of your own body, so you know what level you're going to work best at. And you guys did great with that one. So we've got part of our cumulative 150 minutes of aerobic exercise, aiming sort of moderate towards high intensity. So we've ticked off a big chunk of that. We've worked on some balance, we've worked on some agility, and there was certainly multitasking when we're in there. Those exercises, although they were body weight, they were working on strength. You could, if you wanted to repeat this workout, and I know that the guys at Virtual Village Hall are going to have this in their catalogue for you to look back at and watch again, you could add some weights into the movement, some small hand weights, so you get an extra strengthening component. But what we haven't done a lot of yet is stretch and mobility, and that's what this last section of your workout is going to be. So we want to just lower our heart rate. Can you gently step touch from side to side? Let the arms hang down, and the weight of the arms is going to pull the shoulders down away from the ears. Now let's take a nice wide stance. So if you imagine a line going down through the centre of the hip, your feet are going to be on the outside of that line. The feet should be parallel. I want you to tuck your bottom underneath. Imagine we're lifting your ribs up away from the pelvis and your arms are resting down by the side of your body. Lean over to one side. Stretch the fingertips down along the outside of the thigh and keep this top shoulder back. We're going to hold our stretches in our cool down for a little bit longer than we did in our warm up. So we want to really elongate those muscles which have been nicely warmed up during the workout. Okay, come back up in the middle, lift, and then over to the other side. Feel that strength, stretch, and elongation in the muscle. Top shoulder back, chest open. Hold it there for a deep breath. Good, pull all the way back up and into the middle again. We're going to do a calf stretch now. So I'm going to turn side on for you to be able to see this. You stay facing the screen if it's easier. And you may want to get something to hold on to. I've got my chair nearby. As I take a step back and I'm stretching this leg that's behind. So my front knee is bent, back knee is straight, and I'm trying to push my heel in towards the floor. Keeping the hips square. Holding that stretch to elongate the muscles at the back of the thigh. Good, straightening out. Lovely. Step that leg back in, and then we'll do exactly the same on the other side. So a big step back, heel to the floor, hips stay square, chest is lifted, straighten the back knee, pressing the heel in towards the floor. Wide, full breaths. Elongate the back of your leg. Good. And then come back up. So that was more for this bit towards the lower part of the leg. Let's try and stretch out the back of your thigh now, which is your hamstrings. Again, if you want to have something to hold on to, then that's useful. Or you can just rest onto your opposite thigh. We're going to take one leg straight. We're going to send the hips backwards, just kind of kinking at the waist. And you should feel that big pull up the back of your thigh on the straight leg. Come that way so you can see, and that way so you can see there. Lean forward a little bit more, keep the chest lifted, see if you can increase the stretch at the back of the leg. Amazing, well done. And then let's do the same for the other side. So pulling the toes up towards you, straight knee on the side that we're stretching, bent knee on the supporting leg. You're going to just sink back, send the tailbone backwards, keeping the chest lifted. Great stuff. See if you can just increase that stretch a teeny tiny bit more. And then stepping it through. Well done. So we've loosened out the legs. Let's just try and open out the torso and the body a little bit. So can you bring your hands all the way around behind your back and grab a hold of either wrist. If you're able to get a hold of your elbows, even better. But just do whatever you can manage. And then I'd like you to try and bring your hands away from your back. So we're opening, widening across the front of the chest there. Good. Keep pulling away. Let's loosen that off now. Let the arms hang heavy. Just check your standing posture again. Feet press firmly in towards the floor. Lift the ribs up away the pelvis. You're going to now link your fingers together. So slice them in together. Push your palms forwards towards the screen. Push them towards me. I want you to try and get your elbows as straight as you possibly can. Try not to kink the back, so we're going to push forward, stretching around the shoulder blades. Good. And then release the arms. Let them hang down by your side. Pull those shoulders back down and open. Take your ear over to your shoulder one way, feeling that length and elongation at the side of the neck. Back up in the center. Ear over to the shoulder the other side. And then back to center. Last thing, just nod the chin down towards the chest. At the same time, try and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Tuck your bottom underneath. And then bring the eye line parallel to the floor once again. Ground your feet in towards the floor. Equal weight between the base of the big toe, the little toe, and the heel on either side. Lengthen through the lower part of the back and create a gap between your belly button and your breastbone. Keep the collarbones wide. Lift up through the crown of the head. And I hope that you have a nice big smile on your face and a warm, fuzzy feeling because we've just exercised together to do something amazing for our bodies. And I hope that you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, I'm going to hang around, pop those questions in the chat, or we'll try and get to them a little bit later on. If you're interested in any of the Reach Your Peak exercises and our exercise app, then pop over to our website. I think there's going to be a little banner that will pop up later with that address on reachyourpeakonline.com. We've got a special offer on this weekend if you wanted to join the Reach Your Peak program. If you go on the website, you'll find out more about that. But for now, thank you very much to Parkinson's UK for asking us to be a part of this very, very special day of celebration. Thanks to everyone at the Virtual Village Hall who've looked after us and made us feel welcome in this virtual world. And thank you to you for joining in and taking part. I'll see you again soon for another workout, I hope. Take care. Bye-bye.